Hello and welcome everyone to a special live broadcast from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences celebrating, you guessed it, Groundhog Day. Thank you all for joining us on this very special occasion. My name is Chris Smith, your Shadow Master of Ceremonies, your Master of Shadow Ceremonies, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to our virtual ceremony today. Today actually marks 21 years of the museum welcoming our friends and fans to celebrate a day just for native North Carolina critters, the groundhog. Groundhogs are such a special animal, whether in parks, fields, forests, or your own yard. Groundhogs certainly deserve a remarkable day. Here in Raleigh, North Carolina, of course, we are even just beginning to see the earliest signs of the changing seasons. February 2nd, today, actually marks the halfway point between winter and the beginning of spring. The days are getting longer. Maybe you've noticed birds beginning their search for places to nest, and hibernating animals, like groundhogs, might begin to stir as they investigate whether winter weather will stay or go. In fact, this is why we're here too, right? Legend, of course, says that a groundhog emerging on a sunny day will see its shadow and be scared back into its burrow, indicating 6 more weeks of winter weather. A cloudy day means no shadow and spring weather will come early. What do you think today's weather prediction would be from where you're viewing? Type it into the chat on YouTube and let me know. Okay, so at least that's the story. To bring us the facts, I would like to introduce you to my friend and colleague, Hugo Romero Sanchez. Hugo, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hugo, and I'm an educator at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. And today, I wanted to welcome you all to a special event. Today is the 2nd of February, and even though it's still cold, winter is almost finished. So as we do every year, we're going to celebrate one of... Hey there!
Hey, Hugo!
Hey, Wally, how are you? I'm sorry, but I'm here with our friends, trying to talk about something important.
You're going to talk about Groundhog Day, aren't you?
Yes.
So why don't you let me, a professional groundhog, talk about Groundhog Day?
Well, okay. I'm always happy to learn from you. So today is Groundhog Day, no? What can you tell me about this celebration? Where did it come from?
Groundhog Day started in Germany with the ancient Christian tradition of candlemas. The clergy would bless and distribute candles for the winter. The Germans expanded on this tradition by using an animal to help predict how long the winter would be. But it was a hedgehog or a badger. Groundhogs like me don't live in Europe. When German settlers came to America, they brought the tradition with them. But there aren't hedgehogs in North America and no badgers in the East. But groundhogs were plentiful.
You said when the tradition came to America, they replaced hedgehogs and badgers with groundhogs. So since you look so similar, are you from the same species? No?
Not at all! We aren't even closely related. Badgers are mustelids like weasels and ferrets. Hedgehogs are in the Aranaceae family and are distantly related to shrews. I am a rodent. In fact, I'm the largest squirrel in the world. My closest relatives are the marmots, who live in mountainous regions of North America. Being a rodent makes me pretty special. I have these awesome incisors which never stop growing because I love to gnaw.
Wow, that is amazing, Wally. You have beautiful teeth indeed. So in a couple of minutes, we are going to have the main event, the shadow ceremony. Are you sure you are ready? You look a little bit tired.
Now, groundhogs are one of the few species that enter into true hibernation. So I just woke up just for today. In northern latitudes, groundhogs like me can hibernate up to 5 months. In up to 35 degrees. My heart rate drops to 4 to 10 beats per minute, and I only breathe once every 6 minutes.
Wow, that is a long nap. So what do you think is going to happen this year? We're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring?
Well, you're just gonna have to wait until the ceremony.
Oh, okay, but just how accurate is your prediction?
Well, unlike some other groundhog who makes his prediction before the sun even rises, I work at an evidence-based museum and I make my prediction at the shadow ceremony. And the numbers speak volumes. I'm 56% accurate against his paltry 39%. But you're just gonna have to wait until the ceremony to see.
You know, Wally, you were right. You are the perfect host for this program. I can't wait to see your prediction for this year. Thank you very much. Bye, Wally. So now, while Wally is getting ready for his big moment, it's time to start the celebration. And the best way to start a celebration is, of course, with music. So join us for our Groundhog Day sing-along, and we'll see you all at the shadow ceremony. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Dowland, and I'm an educator at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. I'm here today to share the Groundhog song with you. I'll sing it through once, and then on the second time, you can join in too. Ready? I saw a little groundhog, he came out in the sun, but when he saw his shadow, back home he had to run. I wish he hadn't seen it, now I am very blue. That's 6 more weeks of winter for him and me and you. All right, now everyone together. I saw a little groundhog, he came out in the sun, but when he saw his shadow, back home he had to run. I wish he hadn't seen it, now I am very blue. That's 6 more weeks of winter for him and me and you. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Hugo and Melissa Dallin, for that wonderful introduction to today's ceremony. Folks, now I would like for you all to meet a special guest and the officiant for today's prognostication. Nicole Stewart sits on the Raleigh City Council and is with us today as Mayor Pro Tem, representing the office of the Mayor of Raleigh. Nicole, welcome.
Thank you, Chris. It's a treat to be here, and I can't wait to talk to our groundhog.
So excited that you could be with us. And everyone, the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right. We're so excited that we could partner with our friends in education and conservation at Akron Zoo for today's ceremony. Please join me in welcoming groundhog caretaker Deborah Swank and our illustrious guest groundhog.
Unmute. All right, everyone. So Summer the groundhog here in Akron Zoo, Ohio, has just been waiting for her big moment. She's going to come on out of her kennel here. I'm going to give her a little piece down here first. Good job, Summer. Hi. All right. She's going to chew on that little piece of sweet potato I gave her and make her way on out here. Summer's got all kinds of goodies to have for today. So Summer is one of our ambassador animals here at the zoo. She was unfortunately, as a little baby groundhog, orphaned, and she didn't have a mom to take care of her. And she was raised at a special wildlife center for injured and orphaned animals. And they tried really hard to make Summer be a groundhog who could go back out and live in the native habitat. But unfortunately, she just became too used to living around people and being around people that they decided it would be best if she could come and be an ambassador groundhog. So Summer is just about 4 years old. And even though Summer does not hibernate here at the zoo because she lives indoors in a nice, cozy, comfy home, She does slow down during the winter. She gains some weight. She sleeps a lot, but don't we all during the winter? So we'll see. As long as she's out here and she's hungry for the food that we have, we'll be able to share some time with Summer. Now, I don't know what kind of weather you all are having there in North Carolina, but here in Ohio, we are preparing for an ice storm and then about 12 inches of snow on top of the ice storm. That's supposed to happen later today. So you got some corn on your face there, Summer. So as far as Summer's winter prediction, weather prediction, it is about as cloudy as it can possibly be here in Ohio, which is actually good. Because if Summer went outside on a day like today, there would be zero shadow whatsoever, which despite our big winter storm would mean spring should come early, which I would be pretty excited about. And Summer is pretty excited about this chunk of corn on the cob. It is one of her favorite treats, so much so that she even likes to wear it a little bit. How about if we get that off your face there, Summer? Now, groundhogs are one of those native animals that sometimes people don't really have a lot of appreciation for them because they can be destructive. They dig burrows. Maybe they made their den underneath your storage shed. They also love to go into your gardens and take a little sample, treat it like it's a salad bar or something. And so sometimes people don't like groundhogs, but with our native animals, we always have to think about, okay, there has to be some reason why they're here, some job that they do. Groundhogs actually have a lot of purposes. So first of all, those burrows that they dig, yes, they are homes for the groundhogs, but they're also home for a lot of other species as well. And particularly for reptile species that need to hibernate for the winter, those groundhog burrows are essential because they're nice and deep, they're below the frost line, so that those reptiles can go down there and hibernate and be safe for the winter. Now, other animals too, like foxes and skunks and rabbits, they'll use abandoned groundhog burrows in order to raise their babies and give them a nice safe home during spring when those babies are born. Also, groundhog burrows do help to aerate the soil. And in flat areas, they also help to provide for space for floodwaters, excess rainwater to go to so that you don't have as much soil erosion. And groundhogs are natural cachers. They love to gather up all kinds of things like leaves and branches and whatever they can find, take that down into their burrow to help make their home more cozy. But it also decomposes down there too. So they're actually kind of like Mother Nature's little composters and helping to add nutrients back into the soil as well. Now, groundhogs also are part of the food chain. So for animals like red-tailed hawks and coyotes and great horned owls, this potentially is an animal that they would prey on. Now, as an adult, the groundhogs are pretty good size for most of those animals, but young groundhogs, first coming out of those burrows in the summer, those would definitely be a tasty morsel for some of those predators. And it's those natural relationships that help to keep things in balance in our ecosystems. Predators need prey and prey need predators in order to keep numbers in check so that there's not too much competition. And so I like to say, you know, groundhogs have a lot of really important things that they do. And hey, there's enough vegetables in the garden to go around, right? We can all share a little bit. And Summer's enjoying some really good banana right there. That's one of her favorite treats as well. She's just rummaging through, finding all kinds of good stuff. And I did hear someone mention earlier that groundhogs are rodents. They are. And yes, they are actually the largest ground squirrel. Don't tell Summer that she's technically a squirrel. She doesn't like to think that. She's a groundhog or a woodchuck, as we like to call them here in Ohio as well. All right. I don't know if we can do questions. If there's any questions out there about Summer.
You know what? I have a question. So tell me more about how closely, so we love squirrels here in Raleigh. And I'm curious just how close of cousins groundhogs and squirrels are. We see them all the time, but we don't see a ton of groundhogs around here.
Yeah, they actually are very closely related. I mean, groundhogs are in the squirrel family, the Sciuridae family, and they are considered the largest ground squirrel. So, you know, I know that they don't necessarily look exactly like the squirrels we're used to seeing that are smaller and, you know, pretty agile up in those trees. But actually, groundhogs like Summer are a lot more agile than they look as well, because not only are these animals amazing diggers, but groundhogs can climb too. And, faced with a predator with something like a coyote, they are quite adept at scaling up into a tree to get to safety where a predator like that would not be able to follow them. And, a lot for habitat for groundhogs, we have tons of groundhogs here in Ohio. They love, flatter agricultural land with lots of trees and lots of hills. That makes it a little harder for them to dig and burrow into. So that may be why we have more of them here in Ohio than you all have down there in North Carolina.
And I appreciate your use of y'all there.
Hey, I lived in Tennessee here. You can't live in Tennessee. I got the y'all.
That's right. That's right. I also know that there is at least a couple groups of elementary students who are probably going, "Oh my gosh, she's so fluffy." So can you tell us a little bit about Summer's fur? And I'm assuming they don't make good pets for lots of reasons, but if you can talk about that, that'd be great.
So her fur is actually kind of wiry feeling. A lot of times people look at her and they almost think she looks sort of like a porcupine, like she would have little, bristles or quills on her. But it's just that her fur is actually tipped white at the end. So that's what kind of gives it that appearance. But their coat will also change throughout the year too. They'll get a thicker coat leading up to hibernation, and then they'll have a much thinner coat during the summer. And as far as a groundhog as a pet, first of all, it's illegal, at least here in Ohio. It is illegal to own a native species like that as a pet unless you would actually have a permit to be a wildlife rehabilitator and have that animal as an education animal. They would not make good pets. Even though Summer has been around humans for literally most of her life, you notice I don't do a whole lot of touching with her. She is very food motivated. She comes out, she has her food, she's fine with me being right here. But as soon as this food is gone, she doesn't have much more interest in me. And she's got powerful rodent teeth. In fact, she might be making her exit. Are you ready to go home?
Summer, I feel that after lunch, I'm ready to go burrow as well.
Here, this one. Over here. So we'll let her get her last little bit there.
Bye, Summer.
We definitely respect the wildness that Summer very much still has in her. And, everything that we do with her are things that we've trained with her to do. We trained her to willingly go into the kennel, willingly come out of the kennel, do her thing on the table. She is very smart and she's very food motivated. So she's a very trainable animal, but she is definitely not domestic and is not a pet by any means. I like my fingers. I want to keep them all.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much to the Akron Zoo, and thank you so much to our new friend Summer for educating us a little bit more about groundhogs. Chris, I think we're probably ready to make our, I'm forgetting the word, help me with
our prediction, prognostication, winter weather. What's going to be the call?
That's right. So while Summer is having quite the cloudy day, and I do hope, fingers crossed for them, that they have an early spring. I don't know about the rest of our Wake County friends, but it's pretty sunny here in Raleigh. So we're gonna go with our groundhog here showed its shadow, which unfortunately and a little ironically means 6 more weeks of winter. So if we were in person, we might chant about some snow days again. I'm going to hope that our groundhogs are wrong and that we get an early spring. But right now, today's prediction is 6 more weeks of winter.
A tough call to make.
Yes.
Which is why we bring in fabulous callers like you, Nicole. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the Science Museum.
Folks, well, there you have it. 6 more weeks of winter, or you know what, if you want to take Summer's side of it and call it an early spring, I won't judge you at all. I would like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Nicole Stewart for being with us today, and Deborah Swank and the team at the Akron Zoo for bringing us our guest groundhog for our shadow ceremony. And of course, to all of you for joining us today online and participating in today's Groundhog Day shadow ceremony with us here at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Thanks so much, everyone. Happy Groundhog Day. Make sure that for more great science and nature events, programs, and activities that you're following the Museum of Natural Sciences on social media. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as @NaturalSciences. And you can see a full schedule of events, programs, activities, and exhibits at the museum's website, naturalsciences.org. Everyone, from all of us here at the Museum of Natural Sciences, I want to say take care, stay safe, keep your community safe, and be well. We'll see you again next time. Bye, everyone.